My name is Sori and Sori Kanu, and the purpose of this video is just for me to share my testimony. And hopefully, this testimony, encourages, and opens somebody's eyes, to see that there is salvation in only one person, and this is the person of Jesus Christ. As a child, I remember going to the mosque and to the church, because at the time my dad was a Muslim and my mom was a Christian. So my dad would usually take me to the mosque, and then my mom, maybe on a couple of Sundays, she would take me, to the mosque. And from then on, I went on to live with my sister during my teen years. And during that time, it was only church, but even then, I was only going to church, because I was kind of first, I was forced, to go to church, because of my sister. But then I moved to the United States, at the age of about 16 years old. And when I came to the United States, I had the option of whether I wanted to go to church or not. And during this time, that was when, me going to church kind of, went down. I probably went to church, let's say maybe about, once a month. And the only reason, I can't even tell you the reason why I go to church, at that time. Maybe it was probably maybe because I was bored, or maybe there was, some type of event going on at church. And I'll say, what, let me go. And then I moved to college, and it was during my college days that I actually gave my life to Christ. And the way it happened was like this. At college, there was I lived about 3 hours away from my house, and I had a couple of friends, who were really saved. They were part of a fellowship, called Bethel Campus Fellowship. This was a Bible study on campus, and they usually have events that was kind of close to my house. And while I was at college, I traveled frequently home. And so there was this event, and they know I traveled, home, at such a frequent rate. So they called me, one of the members, and they said, "Sorry, are you going home this weekend?" And I think at that time I wasn't even gonna come home that weekend. But then they promised me gas, and some other things, and they said, in case you were going home, would you mind taking a couple of people, with you to this event and everything else? And the event was about, 30 minutes away from my house. It was at a university called University of Maryland College Park. And I thought about it, and I said, what? I go home almost every other weekend anyway, so this is no difference. So the original idea was for me to drop them off at the event and then drive, about 30 minutes back to my house, and then, pick up a couple of things, put them in my car, and then go back again, pick them up from the event, and then drive about 3 hours back to campus. And then as I was driving, when we arrived at the place, it struck me, I thought to myself, why should I, drop them, take about 30 minutes again to go home and 30 minutes again to the, event, which takes about an hour. And the event is, maybe probably about 2 hours. I just thought about it. I was like, I said to myself, this doesn't make sense. And so I just decided to stay at say my salvation didn't really come until when I was in college. Because that was the time I actually get to make, the decision myself.